The year is 1911. It's about 8 years since the Wright brothers flew their airplane in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, and William Randolph Hearst, newspaper mogul, inspiration for Citizen Kane, launches a contest. He wants an aviator to fly from coast to coast for the very first time. It doesn't matter which direction, there's only one stipulation. You have to do it within 30 days, and he will pay you $50,000, a huge sum of money in 1911. One of the people who rises to the challenge is Calbraith Perry Rogers. He's the grandnephew of Oliver Hazard Perry, hero of the Battle of Lake Erie, and he decides he's going to do this. So he teams up with a grape soda company called Vin Fiz, and they build the Vin Fiz Flyer, which he thinks is going to be the first plane to fly from coast to coast. The Vin Fiz Flyer takes off from Brooklyn in September of 1911. It has a 4,300-mile journey ahead of it, and along the way, Rogers and his wife start selling postage stamps that they've printed in order to help fund the journey and to lobby for airmail. 25 cents gets you a stamp to put on a postcard or a letter. They would carry it in the airplane and then it would enter the mail stream. These weren't printed by the government, but the government tolerated them so long as you also put a U.S. stamp on your postcard. So this trip takes 75 stops. There was a train that followed the plane in order to provide support. There were 16 crashes, but eventually, after 49 days, they make it to California. 49 days, though, is almost 3 weeks longer than the window that William Randolph Hearst stipulated. So they miss out on the prize. Unfortunately, shortly after they get to California, Rogers flies his plane over the Pacific Ocean, crashes it, and loses his life. But he is the first aviator to fly from coast to coast, even though he didn't get that $50,000 and he didn't even survive. Now, we've known about 13 examples of the Vin Fiz stamp, mostly on postcards, one on a letter. But recently in Texas, a 14th example was discovered. This is one of the great rarities of aviation history, of aerophilately. This is one of the, I think, all-time great items in American postal history, and it is coming to auction for the first time ever next week at Siegel Auctions.